Hey, it's your boy Cold God here. Welcome back to the channel. We are back with our first ever predictions video for a WWE premium live event. I almost said pay-per-view. Premium live event. The first one we're going to cover is Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia. And it's this weekend, actually. So I need to get on the ball. So I need to do this now or never. But we're actually getting 6 matches for the first time in a very long time. Well, since WrestleMania, actually. But so it's kind of a big deal. Night of Champions. And so yeah, I'm going to start these prediction videos with a scale of 1 through 5 of how excited I am for the pay-per-view and just excited in general with the direction of WWE has been going in. And I have to say, I'd give it like a 2, 2.5, a solid 2, 2.5. Very lackluster. The King of the Ring tournament was pretty good. Besides the Jey. But Oba moving on was great. Liv, very questionable. And EO being there. But, so we're going to start it off with that. And let's get into it. So I'm going to start predicting. I'm going to try to keep this pretty short. Not going to really explain much going on. You're sentient beings, I hope. You can understand what's the storylines and stuff. I'm just going to give you my reasoning and move on from there. You can agree and disagree with me, and if you do, please leave it in the comments below. Thank you so much. So first off, we have Oba versus Jey USO for the King of the Ring finals. This is a very interesting match because it can go 2 different ways. If Jey wins, boo, that means a high possibility that Cody Rhodes is going to win his match later on in the night. But that also could mean that they're going to be moving more towards bloodline focus with Cody as well. So, that could be one direction they go. The other direction could be Oba Femi. Oba Femi is another interesting, path they could take. He's already declared a shot against Roman Reigns, but also there is this lingering threat of one, Jacob Fatu, because Jacob Fatu is not going to let Oba get close to Roman. And 2, Brock Lesnar. That is the only way I could see Jey Uso picking up the victory. Is 1 with Jacob Fatu and 2 with Brock Lesnar interference. That's the only way I can think of any way that they're going to let Jey Uso beat 1, 2, 3, pin, clean, done, Oba Femi. So, who do I think is going to win? I think it's a toss-up, but if I had to pick one, unfortunately, I'm going to have to pick Jey Uso. So, don't really want him to win, but it is what it is. Next up, we have the Queen of the Ring finals. The WWE Women's Champion, or WWE World Champion, Women's World Champion, same shit. Liv Morgan versus Io Sky. This is another interesting turn of events. I think if Io had won, she's definitely not going after Rhea. I can't think. She's definitely not going after Rhea. So she was going after Liv, probably regardless. But with Liv Morgan being in the tournament, are they setting up for something bigger like SummerSlam, like a good, maybe even a triple threat with Stephanie Vaquer coming back eventually? So I'm gonna have to pick Io. 1, to set up the first victory of their little trilogy, I guess they're gonna have, if they had to predict anything. So 1, Io, and then maybe Liv's gonna get her win back on like a Monday Night Raw, and then the third match might be at SummerSlam, maybe a triple threat with Vaquer, and that sets up a whole program right there. So very odd that Liv Morgan's even in the finals, but here we are. Not really a big fan of it. Both tournaments were really good. It's just the finals were kind of lackluster, in my opinion. You can definitely disagree on that. But so I'm picking Io. Hopefully she wins. If not, I'm kind of fine with both, I guess. Doesn't really matter. Anyway, next up we have the United States Championship. Trick Williams versus Ricky Saints. This is Ricky Saints' PLE debut. I'm gonna be honest, I haven't watched much SmackDown. SmackDown is very boring. But I do know like what the storyline is going on, so like don't worry, I'm not just talking on my ass. I do think Trick Williams is going to retain. I think this is to set up something bigger, and just kind of like fodder for Trick Williams. Unfortunately, and hopefully we can really showcase Ricky Saints. I love Ricky Saints, and I love him in NXT, and I really hope that he can like really find his groove in the main roster. And he's definitely starting to get more of his groove as these weeks of SmackDown has been going on. So I'm really happy that that Ricky Saints is definitely becoming a better, like, I don't know, becoming more in touch with the crowd. That's what I'm trying to say. So I definitely do think Trick Williams is going to win. Ain't really much to say about this. I think Ricky Saints is going to try like the very dastardly heel type stuff. So Trick is going to be the baby face, even though he's kind of like a heel anyway. So, you know, Trick's going to be the good guy, and he's going to win. I'm so itchy right here. This freaking mosquito bit me so good, and it's making me itch like crazy. Anyway, Trick for the win. Them limit Peppa Steppas. Let's go. Next up, we have the Women's United States Championship. Jade Cargill versus the champion, Tiffany Stratton. This is pretty obvious to everyone. This was supposed to be probably Jade versus Rhea, part 3. Or, excuse me, part 2. Honestly, don't remember. Anyway, Jade versus Rhea. Wait, this has got to be part 3. I don't remember. It don't matter. Jade versus Rhea. So that was probably what it was supposed to be, and then Rhea got hurt. Pretty bad injury. Pretty bad injury, apparently. Talks of even her missing SummerSlam. Now, if she does miss SummerSlam, I'm guessing they're going to drop, you know, Rhea's going to drop the title. But we don't really know as of now. So far, right now, Jay versus Tiffy. I do think Jay's going to win. And, yep, so there ain't much to really say about that. I think Jay's going to win the title because they're going to give her something to do for a little while. Now, will she hold it for a very long time? Probably not. Probably until Rhea gets back. And then they'll start their program again. But I do think Jade Cargill will beat Tiffany. And it kind of makes their feud, you know, continue. It does add prestige to the championship, having Jade Cargill and Tiffany Stratton holding this title. And finally, this title gets on a PLE. So that's what I think. Next up is going to be Seth Rollins versus Braun Breaker in a steel cage match. Pretty cool, not gonna lie, they're in a steel cage. Of course, they're going to hit us with the trope of there's no escape, only through, you know, you can't escape me. Ah, rah. The typical trope, but then they're just going to climb out the damn steel cage. But I do think this match will be held in the confines of the steel cage. I do think Bronson Reed, I can't talk. I do think Bronson Reed is going to come back at this event. He's looking ripped as hell, yoked as hell. So I do think he's going to come back, and he's definitely going to be a part of the match. Now, whether to distract Seth Rollins or actually get involved with Seth Rollins, I really don't know. But I do think, now hear me out, I do think Seth Rollins still picks up the victory. I do think Seth Rollins still picks up the victory, especially with the Street Profits beating Braun and Austin Theory. I do think this is it. I think we're hopefully going to move on from this little feud of the Vision, you know, cycle. So I do think that Seth Rollins is going to win. He's going to get his triumphant win against Braun Breaker. We may be a little shenanigans, but it won't matter in the end. Seth is going to pick up the victory. I'm sure the Street Profits are obviously going to come out as well, because, like I said, I'm sure Bronson Reed's going to come back. Austin Theory is going to come out. I'm sure Logan Paul is going to come out, but obviously he can't get attacked because he's hurt. But the Street Profits are obviously going to come out and help Seth Rollins pick up the victory. So that's who I think is going to win. So it should be a great match. Seth and Braun Breaker, two great performers. So I'm really excited about this match. I'm not going to lie. So anyway. And now we're the main event of the PLE. We got Cody Rhodes, the WWE Undisputed Champion, versus Gunther versus Sami Zayn in Saudi Arabia, the hometown hero. Who do I think is going to win? Plain and simple, I think Cody Rhodes is going to win to set up Jey versus Cody. Simple as that. I'm not going to lie. Haven't been really keeping up with this storyline. SmackDown recently has been pretty boring, so I'm not even going to hold you. I haven't really been watching, especially towards the later end parts of the program. I did watch last week, Cody versus Gunther. Damn near fell asleep. So I think Cody's gonna win. This is the obvious. Cody's gonna win. Cody's probably gonna face Jey at SummerSlam, or he's gonna face somebody else. Maybe a returning Randy Orton. Who knows? Cody Rhodes' reigns have been pretty boring, and I love Cody Rhodes, and it just sucks that I don't know, man. He's just been boring. He is no like risk with Cody. It's the same old storyline over and over again. It made Gunther look stupid. So anyway, that's it for my prediction video. Hopefully we get a lot right. It doesn't really matter, it's just mostly for fun. But anyway, this has been your boy CODY. Please check out the channel. Please like, subscribe, and comment your predictions, and if you agree or disagree with my predictions as well. So anyway, thank you so much for watching, and that's been it. It's freaking hot as hell.